Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good Thursday morning to you. I'm so excited to be here, y'all. I'm so excited and so full of energy. I am here and I am posing the question to you this morning in our continued and daily dating series. Why do some women attract toxic men? Do some women attract toxic men? Hey, how are you doing? And welcome into my channel today. I'm Kisa Coach K, and I am a life coach who helps you navigate change in your life, your career, and your relationships. And just in this season, I've taken a very aggressive stance about talking about dating, the mistakes, the state of dating, the perceptions, the just the idea of how we navigate right now. That's a big, big topic across the internet. My stance, however, is not that I'm going to get into the fray of the criticism, of the negativity. No, I want to bring some positivity and inject some positivity. I want to inject the word of God, and I want to inject some common sense into the equation because I'm dating after divorce. I'm dating after having your heart broken and all these different things. I am out in that arena with a number of you. And the thing that I would say still is to not give up hope. We have a group dedicated entirely called It's Not Too Late for Love, entirely to helping to bring hope and encouragement to you, single ladies, right? We have some single men in there. We have some married people in there. So if you want encouragement, like your daily dose of that information to encourage you that no, it's not too late, you can look up that group. It's called It's Not Too Late for Love, right? And in fact, later today, I will actually post the link in the comments. So here's the question that I pose to you. And I know it's a kind of a challenging question that we may want to look at as I come on right at 7 o'clock this morning. But here's what I want to ask you today. Are some smart women attracted to toxic partners? And I might get a little grief behind that. I didn't say all. I said, does it appear that some women who are smart, have their stuff together, intelligent, are educated, okay, good earners? Does it appear that some of these women are attracted to toxic partners? Perhaps more importantly, if your answer is yes, the question would be, why do you think that is? Why do you think that is? So a little bit of a difficult conversation and a different conversation this morning, but we're going to go there. We're going to go there. We're going to talk about it. Either it's right or either it's wrong, right? But we all know the women who are smart. We all know the women who have their stuff together. We all know the women who have achieved massive success in their careers. We all know these women. We all know these women. But relationally, they end up with toxic men. Oh, it's a difficult conversation, but let's talk about it. Let's talk about the lieutenant governor's wife who was tragically, unfortunately, gunned down inside of her own home. Oh, let's talk about it. Yeah, we're going to talk about that. Let's talk about not only her. Let's talk about the vice the was it assistant mayor or vice mayor out of Florida who was also gunned down in her home. Sotomayor. She was an immigrant from Haiti. Husband gunned her down, kept her body in the house overnight. He left out of the bedroom and went downstairs. Okay. Let's talk about a number of different cases where women who are intelligent, women who have their stuff together, African American women who have been gunned down or who are just on the losing end of the equation. And certainly we are not the only ones. Certainly I think of a local case here, and this is giving you a little bit of insight into what prompted me to do this particular series. So just this case here, one of my news broadcasting, and she wasn't a colleague, but certainly we shared that same career. Young lady gunned down in her own home recently, gunned down in her own home. Then the husband turns the gun on himself, unalives himself, unalives her while that baby is in the house. These are women who are accomplished. This young lady was a former sportscaster and worked for local media, and then went on to become a teacher and in the school system. It wasn't Jefferson County, I believe it may have been Shelby County. Okay, was an educator in Shelby County teaching the skill of journalism. Okay, successful. I still don't know what the husband did. I'm sure some of my colleagues at the local news station where she used to work, I'm sure they know. I don't know what he did, but gunned down in her own home. I don't know if we don't know if it was in front of the baby or not, but the baby had sense enough to come to the door when the grandparents came to the door and open the door. The question I'm asking, why does it appear that some smart women are attracted to toxic partners? I know it's racy. I know it may not be popular. I know it may be a little confrontational in the statement. Listen, I'm not excusing myself. It may surprise you. If I'm going to tell the truth, I'm going to tell the whole truth. That's one thing you need to know about me. If I'm going to tell the truth, I'm going to tell the whole entire truth. Why are some women, it appears, are attracted to toxic partners? We can succeed on so many fronts, but when it comes to choosing a partner, a lifelong partner, that can be the item that just sort of really challenges us when it comes to choosing a partner. All right. So let's get into it because Kisa has to go and I'm going to farm today. I'm going to go play in dirt today, which is, by the way, one of the things I love more than anything. So let's start off with a question. All right. We're going to be a little bit low key here. Let's start off with a question. Have you ever ignored early toxic behavior? Have you ever seen any signs of someone that was questionable and you just ignored it, or you just blew it off? Oh, it'll be fine. We'll work that out. It'll be okay. It's that, whatever. Well, it'll be fine. It'll be fine. Or maybe I'm just overthinking it. Women are big on that. Maybe I'm overthinking it, you know? So if you have, just think about that in the back of your mind. I certainly have. Like I said, I'm not excusing myself out of this at all. I want you to know I'm not excusing self. I certainly have been in that position to excuse bad behavior. Okay, here we go. Let's get into it. So let's be clear. Smart women don't end up in toxic relationships because they're weak or unintelligent. No, that's not what we're talking about, okay? Many women who are smart and successful and self-aware still choose the wrong men. Some do, not all. Some do, not all. And today we're talking about why that is, okay? And I asked you if you saw any signs of toxicity in a relationship that you were involved in. And if so, did you stay in the relationship? If so, and if you're listening to me, I would love for you to give me some hearts, raised hand, or anything. Look, that's honest. I have done so, right? I have done so. All right. So, what did you do in knowing that? So after you knew that, what did you do? We're unpacking some patterns, some blind spots, and we're talking about relationship behaviors that can keep women stuck in cycles of confusion, heartbreak, and emotional exhaustion. You talk about emotional exhaustion being with the wrong partner. You talk about heartbreak. You talk about confusion. I'm back. Don't know what happened. I accidentally kicked myself out. Who does that, y'all? So I accidentally kicked myself out. So anyway, we're unpacking patterns that and blind spots that keep women stuck. This is not a judgment. This is a judgment-free zone. We're just talking. We're talking about some of the issues that we see in relationships and so far. So this is a judgment-free zone. I want you to understand that, okay? We're just talking. But we can't get the help that we need until we are honest. I was honest with myself that in choosing relationships, I rushed. In choosing relationships and partners, I didn't give it the time to really see. So by the time I saw you're in a covenant with someone, or you're in this relationship with someone and it's not feasible, so pride then kicks in. Come on, somebody. Pride kicks in, and you say, "Oh, I don't want to. What do you? I don't want to have another loss. So I'm gonna just stay here and take it a little bit longer. I'm gonna stay here and just try to deal with this a little bit longer." That's real. Yeah, that's real. Okay, that's real. So here, let's talk about it today. Why smart women still choose toxic men. Point number one is simply emotional blind spots. One of the biggest misconceptions is that intelligence protects you emotionally. Y'all, intelligence doesn't protect you emotionally. It doesn't. You can be successful, you can be educated, you can be independent and still have emotional blind spots. They're also known as love blocks. They're things, they're habits that block you from love, right? I used to wonder, I used to say, Lord, I've been working so hard for years, and I go to jobs and I'm not fired. They love me on these jobs. Why am I having these issues in relationships? I used to ask that question. Why am I having these issues in relationships? That's real talk, y'all. And some of you, whether you admit it or not, some of you have those same questions. Why is this so hard? Why? Why is this so hard? Why is this so difficult? Why is finding love so challenging? I've succeeded in business. I've succeeded everywhere else. And this is why we have to talk about it, because as this is going to continue to happen, friends. If we don't know to get out, some cases we just don't know. Some cases we don't know. We never think that our partner would turn on us. I read a story as I was up this morning getting ready for today. A young lady, business minded lady, partner ends up unaliving her after years of marriage, over 20 something years of marriage. Her partner unalives her. How do you stay with somebody over 20 years? I may not have the full story, but here's what I'm saying. There were rumors that she was cheating and that was she was told to not cheat. I don't know, y'all. I don't know. The internet is full of rumors and lies just because. But here's the thing that I would say. Still, we're in a time that people are not willing to just walk away. People will they will cause you harm and then some, and be willing to try to face the price, be willing to say, I'll face whatever comes, but I'm not going to let you get away with that. I'm not going to let you get away. And the way that they have dealt with it, some of them are pulling guns. This lady had built businesses, mega successful, but was sleeping with someone who, rather than walking away, was willing to do harm to her. That's the arena. Now, it's probably always been the case, but it seems like it's becoming more common. We're talking about it more, and it's becoming more open. We're sharing it more because of the internet. So the internet just kind of connects us in a way that's great when it works wonderful, but also in a way that lets us know what's happening around the world. There's not much hidden anymore. And the thing that I am seeing again is that some men are willing to unalive their partners instead of just walking away. So that's why I'm talking about this difficult conversation, y'all. It's a difficult conversation, but I'm not going to shy away from the difficult conversation, because somebody needs to tell us. Make sure that you know the signs. Make sure that you are talking to someone, even discreetly, talking to someone about how to get help and how to get out of a dangerous situation. There is no shame. And there is such a thing that's called discreetness. I can be that discreet person. For those of you, if you're watching and you're in a dangerous situation, let me pause right here. You DM me, you message me, and in triple, quadruple, 10 quotation marks, I need to talk. You go to keisasharp.info. You can go to keisasharp.info. Set up a free call with me. You can DM me, jump in my inbox. Urgent. I need to talk. I need to come up with a plan to get out of this. There is no shame. I am a divorcee. I understand how you leave a relationship. I'm not even talking about the other person. I'm not even talking about the ex-husband. Not talking about him. It has nothing to do with the ex-husband. It has everything to do with me. I made decisions to say, you know what? Let me just remove myself and let me put myself in the best position possible because this is a tense time. There are people who say they're going to divorce and they stay in the house with men. There are people who say we're going to leave and we're going to stay in the house, or we're just going to work together until I find some place. That is the most dangerous time for a woman, when you are saying and declaring to your significant other, your spouse, your lover, that you are leaving. The most dangerous time to say that then. So, friends, you need help? I'm availing myself. You need help? Call 911. 911 will give you resources. Look, you don't need to come pick me up, but listen, I'm in a crisis. What do I who can I call locally? What organization can I call locally? Listen, we're removing all the excuses today. And we're not going to, uncomfortable topic, but we're not going to act like this doesn't happen. Again, I wouldn't dare mention an ex, but I've been at a place where I've said, you know what? This could be a very awkward time. So let me go ahead and move and not create any more awkwardness. Because here's the deal. When people get angry, you don't know how they will respond sometimes. You don't know the measure and the depth of that, because a divorce means that that person no longer has access to you. A separation means they no longer have access to you. And you have to sometimes separate to see how that person will respond. There's some people who make decisions, they get back together after separating. That's great. But there are others, it's a very dangerous time for them. All I'm saying, friends, is be careful. So, what are we talking about? Okay. Dating with intention. Okay. We want to make sure that we understand that we're dating with intention. If we are in a dangerous situation, we need to understand the resources in order to get out of that. So here's you're dating with intention. So let's talk about this again, emotional blind spots. You can be successful, have all the degrees, have that job, have that corner office, but still can have an emotional blind spots. And intelligence does not protect you emotionally, right? You can be educated and have blind spots. So here's how it looks. You can want connection, right? But you can still override. So here are we talking about, let's show emotional blind spots. You want connection, and your connection can override caution. Okay, you're desperate. You haven't gone on a date in 2 years. This guy comes, shows you all the attention in the world. Your wanting connection can override caution. Loneliness can lower your standards temporarily. I want to sit down and watch a movie with somebody. I don't care if he has to come over here. I don't care if I have to pay for us to go to the movie. I'll pay for it. I'll pay for it. I'll buy the meal. Let me buy it. I just want some connection. I want somebody to hang with. I've been alone and I hadn't seen a man, hadn't even had the possibility of being with a man in a year, in 6, 8 months. So I'll do what you need. I'll come on over. I'll cook for you. Come on over. You don't have to worry about anything. Just come on over. Come to my house. And you don't even know. I've seen issues of women, successful, beautiful models, one lady invited a gentleman to her home. That was and that was that, if you know what I mean. Unalived her and then told authorities that she took something, and that's what caused her to, it was the drugs that she was dealing with. The first time she invites you over to her house, this tragedy happens, and you're going to say it's the drugs, but the only thing that's different is you. I'm saying loneliness, having emotional blind spots. You're successful, but you can have emotional blind spots. I've been there. This is not a condemnation. This is real talk. Having emotional blind spots, loneliness, past wounds can normalize unhealthy behavior. If you have grown up in a home that was toxic, with a parent or a mother or a father who yelled all the time, who mistreated you, who withheld love and made you think that that was what love meant. Toxic behavior, past wounds, that's normal. If he goes hot, cold with you, that's normal. Oh, he doesn't call. He's mad at me, so he's not talking to me right now. Well, that's normal. And then you go into overproduction trying to get his attention and get him back. Okay? He knows it. So your wound was just located. All right. We're talking about emotional blind spots. You do wonderful in the boardroom because that doesn't require emotion. It requires your knowledge and your know-how. They want your know-how in the boardroom. They want your know-how in corporate America. I worked in corporate America. I worked in television news. They want your know-how. It's non-emotional. They want the end result. Okay, non-emotional. But in a relationship, it requires a degree of emotional intelligence. Ooh, did you hear that? In the boardroom, your emotions are not required. In fact, it's frowned upon to be an overly emotional woman in the boardroom. But you absolutely need emotional intelligence in a relationship. At your workplace, you need mental intelligence. In a relationship, you need emotional intelligence. The two are not the same. That's how smart women can end up becoming attracted to toxic men, because that wanting closeness, and sometimes the narcissist come in and love bomb you, give you the compliments that you want, give you the things that you need in the interim, and it moves past your alarm system. Okay? That's why emotional intelligence is required. You have to slow down, understand your vulnerabilities, and put time on the equation. Time will reveal so much. And I know you can be impatient, but time will reveal so much. All right? What's another pattern? And let me just say this. Sometimes we don't choose based on what's healthy. Sometimes we choose based on what's familiar, what feels familiar. I'm used to this. This feels familiar. So you're making a choice based on that. All right. Number 2, desire versus discernment. We're going to wrap it up pretty quick too, because I'm going outside to go on an adult field trip. I'm so excited. Desire versus discernment. Listen at this. This is good. Desire asks, how do I feel about him? Discernment asks, is this good for me? All right. Let's break this down. Desire says, "Oh, how do I feel? How does he make me feel?" You always hear this thing back in the day where we talked about butterflies. Butterflies are not a good measurement of a good relationship. Butterflies may be your nervous system. It could be your nervous system going into overdrive saying, "Be careful." Desire says, "How does he make me feel?" Discernment, is this good for me? Not about a feeling, but is this good? No, he makes me feel good, but how does this look long term? Sometimes time is the only thing that you can use to verify that. Desire focuses on attraction. Discernment watches patterns. That's good. Desire focuses on attraction. Discernment watches their patterns. Desire wants the fantasy of love, the fantasy, the ring, the proposal, the vacations. Discernment studies the reality. When we are hanging out together every day on the sofa, when we're trying to cook every day, when we're deciding who's going to do laundry, when I'm working every day and I don't feel like cooking, are you going to be the person to step in? Are you going to be the person to, protect me and want the best for me on those days that I may not be my best self? Are you going to understand my rhythm? Desire, it wants the fantasy. Oh, the roses and the pictures for Instagram, the pictures for Facebook, the pictures, the image, okay, of going out and hanging out and sitting down and having someone to have lunch with. That's the fantasy. I want somebody to have lunch with, honey, and to toast, and we're toasting together, and he puts that ring on my finger, and we get married and we got the pictures. No, discernment studies the reality, because discernment knows we're not going to always be in the restaurant eating and toasting champagne glasses. Discernment recognizes that we're not always going to be traveling across the globe. Discernment recognizes that pictures only capture a snapshot in time. It is not everyday reality. Discernment understands that reality is produced over the long term, not just in a moment. Discernment looks at the time that's invested and comes up with a conclusion and comes up with a pattern. I'm trying not to get excited. I'm just trying to talk to you. And listen, I'm not getting on you. I'm talking to myself too. At 53, I've learned some things. And if I can take this lesson, this would be the lesson that I would say I would take and say, please listen to this lesson. It's hard to hear. It's hard to confront that part of us that we may not want to deal with, but this can be costly on the other end. Ask me how I know. Because, baby, he can be attractive, he can be charming, he can be attentive, and lack emotional stability, and lack honesty, and lack consistency. All those things which make for lasting love. Did you hear what I just said? So he can look good. Oh, he can smell good. Oh, he can wear that suit. He can wear those slacks. He can wear those shorts. My goodness. He's got the look. How Prince said, you've got the look. Shown up with me in my book. They've got the look. But they don't have the longevity. Woo! They've got the look, but they don't have the longevity you need. Ask me how I know about that one. All right. Ask me how I know. Oh, I'm telling you, Kisa can talk to you. And by the way, let me interject right here. I have someone who is, and bless them, whoever they are. There's people are starting to connect with me via social media. So, $4.99 a month. I'm asking you to subscribe. I just sent out for this new round of subscriptions some content yesterday. My subscribers get exclusive content. So I'm asking you to go to Facebook. You'll see a button, facebook.com, Kisa Shea Sharp, my Facebook page, which is what you are viewing right now, and subscribe for exclusive content, exclusive lives, and exclusive teaching videos to help you in your dating arena. I give information. I'm an information source here online, but I give so much more information too. As it relates to my subscribers. And coming up this Saturday, I'm actually going to start going live each week. All right. Just for my subscribers, right? If for those of you who hit that subscribe button, you're going to get more intense teaching because I can say certain things here on this social media channel, but some things I really can't say. Well, I go there in those videos, right? Signs of narcissism, how you can take care of yourself, signs he's not serious. What do you need to work on? What are your blind spots? How to navigate this dating arena, right? Truth uncut. And like I said, some of the things I deal with here, but some of the things I can't deal with. So you can subscribe on my channel, right? That's one way that you can stay connected with me and get some great content. All right. So just because someone excites you, sweetheart, I want you to understand it doesn't mean they're safe to build with. You want safety, and safety does not equate excitement. Let me say that again. You want someone that you can build with, and excitement doesn't equate safety, nor does it equate stability. Those are the things that make for a great long-term partner. And this is what I have come to realize. I've read this a lot, and I had to say, this is so true. We want the butterflies. We want the feelings. But do you know that the person that God has for you who will make you the best spouse, they may be the most boring person. I mean, they eat the same thing. They come home at the same time. They do the same thing. They're going to get up the next day and they're going to go right back at it again. That may be boring to you. They may not be flying you all, all to Paris and all of that, but they're home. They show up every day. They go to work every day. They're going to provide every day. All right. Desire versus discernment. There's a difference. And may God open your eyes to discern the husband. May God open your eyes to discern the spouse that he's called you to build within this season. Discernment is critical. Discernment is when you can see beyond the surface. So I throw out these words sometimes, but I'm big on educating you. Discernment is when you have that wisdom on the inside and you know that you know that you know. You don't have to figure it out, and you can see what's not said. That's what discernment is. You can see the things that are not said. Anyone can sell you a dream with their mouth. A narcissist, I spent a lot of time talking about narcissists. A narcissist will sell you a dream, honey. They will future fake. They will love bomb. How does that happen? That happens through the mouth. and they tell you things. Women are conversationalists. Women latch on to what you say. The narcissist is a master at saying the things that they believe will pull you in. But here's what you always fact check with them. Here's how you always fact check them. Look at their actions, and look at their actions over the long term. I gotta move. Woo, I gotta move. I gotta move. All right. So we're dating with intention. All right. And our third item, why women ignore red flags early in the relationship, even though they know, because the red flags show up. You see the red flags. The red flags showed up. I saw red flags. I'm dating right now, and well, I'm not. I'm actually on a dating fast, but I have gentlemen who want to date me and take me on dates now. I've asked the Lord to sharpen my discernment because I don't want to waste time. I don't want to waste time. I know I don't want to waste time. So if you ask him that, he will show you, and those will show up early. The question is, will you pay attention to the signs that he shows you? Will you pay attention to what that gentleman shows you? Will you pay attention to what that young lady shows you? Will you take heed to the signs, my friend? Will you? Because they show up, but smart women don't not see the signs. They see the signs, but they dismiss them, and they dismiss the red flags because they're hopeful. Here we go. Boy, don't I. I'm talking, maybe I'm talking to myself. I don't know if I'm talking to anybody out there. Maybe I'm just talking to myself. They dismiss them because they're hopeful. Here are some common thoughts, right? Here we go. And we're talking about hope. Yeah, hope. Yeah, the Bible says hope against hope. Yeah, the Bible says that's one of the things that remains. Hope does remain. The Bible encourages us to hope. That's a whole different item though, because that's not based on you. That's not based on another individual. That's based on God and the integrity of his word. Don't get that twisted. The God tells us to hope and please put our faith in him and in the word of God, not in man. So here's some common thoughts as to why we excuse red flags. Well, maybe I'm overthinking it. How many women have I talked to? Maybe I'm overthinking it. I know he said that he doesn't really like to stay on a job long term. I know he said that he really doesn't want to work. He really would rather just kind of, chill out and be at home every day or work from home every day. I know he said that, you know. I know he said that, he would, he was playing when he said, I'll knock somebody out. I know he said, but he was playing. Hey, Barry, good morning. Good morning. Good morning. I know he said it, but he was playing. I think he was just kidding. He wouldn't do that. Maybe I'm overthinking it. What else? Why do women excuse red flags? Maybe he'll change. Now, he hadn't taken me out the whole time that we've dated. He's only taken me to a restaurant where like McDonald's and Burger King and Captain D's. But, sometimes I like to go out to Applebee's. Sometimes I like to go out to Cheesecake Factory. I take myself out there. So sometimes I would love to go to a restaurant like that. We're not even talking about the 5-star. I certainly treat myself to a 5-star restaurant. But if he's not treating you to that, if he has an issue taking you out to lunch, if he's not generous with you up front, people aren't going to like me saying it, but I don't care about that. But see, clarity often shows up early. Clarity is not late. Clarity doesn't try to hide from us. No. The problem is we lack the clarity. We push clarity aside because we attach too soon. We attach in our minds. We fantasize about them and we think about them, and we're already down the wedding aisle and we're just dating. We're already down the wedding aisle. So clarity moves out of the way. And then some of us take it even farther. We become attached physically to the person. So when that shows up, that's another item that makes it real difficult for logic to step in, right? So clarity, emotional blind spots. Let's go back. We have emotional blind spots. That's why smart women often deal with toxic men. There's desire versus discernment. We place desire over discernment. That's why smart women deal with toxic men. Hope excuses red flags. We make excuses for it. Okay. So that's a lesson. I know it's tough, y'all. I know it's tough. I know it's tough. I know it's a tough thing to say. Here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna leave this in the comments, y'all. Okay. I'm gonna leave this in the comments section for you. And like I said, it's a tough topic. Some may not like it. But if I did everything based on what people like, for those of you who are watching the replay, let me know. Dating Clarity Session, it's here in the comments. It's going to be posted in just a second. You go there and you sign up. It's twofold. If you want to take this farther, $47. You can pay with Klarna. You can pay with Apple Pay. You can pay so many different ways. Samsung Pay. You can pay with your debit card, $47 if you're ready to move from uncertainty to clarity. Here's the thing about me. I'm here in the arena with you. That's number one. Number two, I don't have just a cookie cutter program. So when you call me, I'm just going to run you through the program and talk at you like someone who's just selling something. No, I am a spiritual coach. I'm a discerning coach. So I'm listening to you, and there's nothing cookie cutter about what I do. I listen to you. And we are going to talk about your situation. Don't you know people run you? I've been there because I believe in hiring a coach. I believe in having a coach help me. I believe in coaching. Okay. I'm a coach. I believe in coaching, but I've talked to some coaches and they sound like robots. I remember talking to this gentleman about business. And just there was no emotion there. It was like he was reading a script. It was like, I'm not listening to you. I don't want to hear from you. This is the program. This is what we do, blah, 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 and blah, blah, blah. And that may have been just his personality. But I need to feel like you're engaged with me, friend. Friend. I need to feel like you're engaged with me. Not just reading sound bites. Anybody who does that, right? So that's the thing about me as a coach. We're going to talk about your situation. It's a judgment-free zone, a safe space, and you will walk away being able to see it. I'm big on clarity. You're going to be able to see it. You know, sometimes our friends may try to tell us things. Sometimes we try to tell our own self things. Oh, that's not really happening. Oh, that's not really happening. No, that's not really happening. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm looking up here. Oh, that's not really happening. No, 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 no. No, 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 no. That's not really happening. You will not be able to. You're going to be able to see it. What you do with it is your choice. I'm not, as a coach, here to tell you what to do, how to do. I'm simply here to lay out, here's what we see, here's what, and you make the choice from there. I think people think that coaching is telling you what to do. Couldn't be farther from the truth. Our goal is to help you see it and to work with you. You still have to choose. You are the person who chooses, friend. You choose, not Kisa, not a coach, not a counselor. We don't choose. You choose your response. You choose how to move forward. It's just our job to help you see it. Listen, I love you. I've got work to do today. I have work to do every day, but I'm excited about this work because I get an opportunity to go out and have an adult field trip. And I cannot tell you how excited I am. I'm in the world of posting videos and editing videos and creating content through coaching. So to step away from this for the opportunity and get out and enjoy some sunshine, I just don't know how to behave. So I hope that you have a great day. You'll see me throughout the day commenting on some things. I like to watch the news and see some things that are going on with the news as well. So I interject into dating news items. So those are some of the things that you're going to see from me on my channel. You will see me heavily focus and enter that space on dating, and dating particularly for the mature woman. I'm going to get in the space. I'm going to talk. I feel like I'm in my 50s now. I'm an elder. I'm 6 years away from 60. So I need to get in the space and talk intelligent. Let's have some facts out there. Let's have some word-based information out there and not just theory from people who don't know the Lord and who have no common sense. Yep, I said it. Have zero common sense. Just are looking for sensationalism and likes. So you're going to get some things undone. You're going to get practical advice. You're going to get that a sister, an auntie who's going to say, I am there with you. And I understand. And I'm listening to you. I'm not judging you, but I am going to give you some tough love and give you some honesty. Secondarily, out in these entrepreneurial streets, honey, it's been one of the most challenging things that I've ever done. So I'm going to share with you on the journey because I've made a decision to stick my foot in the mud. That's number two. And like I said, number three, you are going to get some encouragement along that entrepreneurial item. You'll get some recipes and some other fun things as well. But those are certainly two of the things that I've made a decision to deal with on my channel. Dating for sure, and also encouraging you along the entrepreneurial path. And also as a woman of God and as a sister and as a friend. All right. So have a super fantastic day. The weekend is almost here. We have a surprise tomorrow. We have two surprise guests in the morning joining us, okay? Y'all have a super fantastic day, and I'll talk to you soon.